thrown for over 1,700 yards, 3 touchdowns this season. Here he is against Wake Forest as he hits Kiesler over the middle for a touchdown as Tech beat the Wake Forest Deacons. The tailback, the all-conference player Robert LAVETTE from Cartersville, Georgia. He has broken the 1,000-yard mark, 17 touchdowns this season. Excellent runner, one of the best in the South. He is also the leading receiver for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. LAVETTE, all ACC now, is only a sophomore. He has scored 102 points. He is on his way to many records in the Tech book. Now, Herschell Walker of Georgia, the tailback, 1,590 yards with this game left to play. This is Walker against Auburn as he goes 47 yards, his longest run of the season as Georgia clinched the SEC again. Walker, number 4 on the all-time NCAA rushing list. He will easily move into third with just an average day for him. In his 3 years, he's become the SEC's career-leading rusher, scoring leader, and touchdown leader with an incredible 50 TDs. Another All-American for Georgia, like Walker, is Roverback Terry HOAGE. HOAGE plays that short drop position for the Dogs in that Roverback position. He's number 14. Watch him against Vanderbilt as he picks off a Whit-Taylor pass, intercepts it right in the short zone, and makes his way upfield with it. All-American Terry HOAGE. He has 10 interceptions this season. The Dogs secondary leads the nation with 32. Jimmy PAYNE, another All-American for the Dogs, defensive tackle. Injuries have kept him out of a lot of games. Lastinger starts today as Georgia goes against Georgia Tech. The Bulldog Television Network presents College Football 82. Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Hertz Buy a Car. More people buy cars from Hertz than from anyone else in the world. And by Pepsi. Pepsi's got your taste for life. And by Levi Garrett Chewing Tobacco. We are just 70 miles down the road from Atlanta, Georgia, the headquarters of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, where today the University of Georgia Bulldogs take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Hello again, everybody. This is Bill Hartman along with Buck Ballou and Butch Clifton with the state championship on the line.
Well, Coach Curry and his staff back in the fall set a goal to have a winning season. They have achieved that. They're 6-4. Vince Dooley says they're a team that has come of age. They're playing very consistently on offense and defense. Should be a great game.
You've played in these 4 years, Buck.
Tech, Georgia, there's no love lost between these two schools. It's always a high intensity, high level of hitting. Also, it's the last home game for the 25 Georgia seniors, and I'm sure they want to go out in style.
This man would like to be out there. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. Other than received to open up this meeting between the Jackets and the Dogs, and Ron Rice will kick it off to those two gentlemen, Carney Norris and Keith Montgomery, back on the goal line awaiting Rice's kick. It goes to Montgomery, 4 yards deep, and he will stay there, and Georgia brings it out. 1st and 10 at the 20. Buck Ballou, you've played in these Tech-Georgia games for a long time. It is exciting, huh?
It is. You can expect anything in this ball game. Tech obviously is going to be going all out. They might come out with some new wrinkles. Georgia, no different. They're #1 in the nation right now, and I'm sure they want to continue that.
Lastinger at quarterback, McCarthy the fullback, Herschell Walker the tailback, Kevin Harris is at split end, Chuck Jones the flanker, Brown the tight end. Offensive line, Harper, Weaver, Radloff, Gray, and McIntyre. The handoff to the fullback, McCarthy. He goes 5 yards. There are markers on the play as they give it to the fullback on the first play from scrimmage. Let's look at the Tech defense. Dyett, who made that tackle, is in there in the front line with Chisholm and Big Bobby Hodge. Jones, Wood, Horton, and Swilling are the linebackers for the Jackets. Thurston, Westbrook, Brown, Travis, that's secondary. The Dogs are called for holding on the first play from scrimmage, and that will mark that football back after McCarthy had picked up 5 yards to open it up. So it is marked back at the 10-yard line. holding against the Dogs. It'll be 1st and 20 from that point. Today we're going to do something a little different. We have Butch Clifton down on the sidelines with us, and Butch will be bringing us color comments from right there among the players, right on the sidelines. We'll get to him in a moment. Now it is 1st and 10 as Lastinger brings up the Dogs at the 10-yard line. The handoff to McCarthy. Chris McCarthy up to the 19-yard line. Butch Clifton, can you give us an idea of the line blocking on that play?
Well, you can see things much differently on the sideline. As we've mentioned so many times, it's probably the worst seat in the house. At that time, for the first time this year, you really looked like Chris McCarthy had exceptional speed. Excellent offensive line blocking on the left side by Georgia.
Okay, thanks Butch Clifton from down on the sidelines of Sanford Stadium, where about 82,000 people are here to see the Jackets face the Dogs. 2nd down and about 11 yards to go. And they swing it out to Herman Archie. He's at the 25 to 26-yard line. Mike Travis, the freshman from just outside Atlanta, made the stop on him. It will bring up a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Buck?
Good play there. Good play selection. Georgia not trying to get it all back in one play. 2 really good plays in a row. Now they're in position 3rd and 5. They gained that yardage back. They lost at the penalty.
Herman Archie and Mike Travis, the man that made the stop on him, were teammates in the Georgia High School All-Star game this past summer. Here we go, 3rd down situation for the Dogs, and they pitch it out to Herschell Walker. He's caught, and then he gets more yardage and the 1st down. Herschell Walker was caught for a loss, and then the second effort gave him the 1st down. Sammy Brown, Jack Westbrook making the stop as Herschel goes to the 31-yard line. What a weapon, Buck.
Really is. Nothing but speed there. Looked like Westbrook, the Georgia Tech strong safety, was there to make the play, but Herschel somehow got the 1st down. He always seems to do it.
1st and 10, Georgia. They mark the football at the 32-yard line. They send Archie in motion and give it off to the fullback McCarthy. He spins out to the 38-yard line. McCarthy to the 38. That's a pickup of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Rob Horton making the stop. McCarthy's had a great year, 285 yards coming into the game, and he is an excellent blocker. And Buck, from a quarterback standpoint, that is so important, isn't it?
Well, you gotta be proud for Chris. He's spent a long time, a lot of hard work backing up, and finally gets his opportunity and really does well with it.
Here come the Dogs on 2nd down. The handoff to Walker. Walker across the 40 to the 41-yard line. He'll be about a yard short of the 1st. Dwayne Wood making the stop on him. Down on the ground, it looks pretty fierce. Butch Clifton, give us a feeling for that.
Well, no question about it. You really appreciate the size of the players and the quickness. Offensive line from Georgia really fired out that time. Tech met Herschel, and you could see him stand him up, but you can really appreciate his strength as he refused to come down.
Okay, thank you, sir. It is 3rd down and about a yard to go for Georgia. They give to Walker, and he's got the 1st down, and he's still up. Herschell Walker at the 45.
He's gone.
He's gone. Herschell Walker has just gone 48 or 9 yards. That'll be his longest run from scrimmage.
59.
59 yards. Let's watch it again.
Just a straight lead play. McCarthy blocking. Looked like Tech had him stopped 2 or 3 times, but this young man keeps going somehow. His strength and speed is really amazing.
He goes 59 yards. I had him 10 yards short. He goes 59 for Georgia's 1st touchdown. Butler kicks the extra point, and with 11:49 left, the Dogs have jumped up top. Let's look again at that run by Herschell Walker.
So Georgia came with a straight lead. You see McCarthy leading on the linebacker. Herschel sees a hole, bounces off a couple. Move on the safety, and it's all over. Once it's a foot race, Herschel's going to win it.
You know, you say you give him a leg and bring it back. That's exactly what he did. That with that last carry, Walker has broken the SEC record for career all-purpose yards. Breaks a record held by James Brooks. Georgia leading 7-0 with 11:49 left in the 1st quarter. For the Jackets, 10 yards deep, and he'll down it there, and Georgia is up by a touchdown, and you're going to see it by that man, Herschell Walker, as he went 59 yards. Let's take another look. Ground level action. Now watch in just a moment when he gives a leg to the Tech defender and then brings it back. He's gone.
Gave it to him and took it away.
Back to the live action, 1st and 10 for the Jackets on their first possession. Jim Bob Taylor back to pass. Taylor looking, now he gets it off, and it's complete at the 30-yard line to Gary Wilkins. Marker on the play. Let's go down to the field and Butch Clifton.
If you look over my right shoulder, you can see some of the attention that Herschell Walker warrants after his 59-yard run. As you mentioned, he broke several tackles. You've got Steve Bryant and Warren Morris, the head trainer and assistant trainer, as they give him the necessary attention to get him ready for the next series.
All right, thanks, Butch Clifton. We're back to live action. There was a penalty on the play. 2nd down and 10 for Georgia Tech after that apparent pass completion. Now LaVette to the 23-yard line, Robert LaVette. Let's take a look at the Georgia Tech offensive set. Taylor at quarterback, Eddie Fortier and LaVette are the backfield members. Harrington at split end, Kiesler and Wilkins is the tight end. Then the interior, Gardner, a pro prospect, Kenny Howell, Dean Waters, Mark Schultz, and big David Lutz. And is he ever a pro prospect? Lutz, one of the biggest players in the South at 6'7". More about him in a moment. It is 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Jim Bob Taylor out of bounds with the 1st down. Good run by Jim Bob Taylor as he picks up a Georgia Tech 1st down. I told you David Lutz is big. Listen to these numbers, 6'7", 274. Now let's check out the Georgia defensive lineup. Dale Carver at the end, Gilbert at the tackle, the guard, Jackson and CROWE, Stan Dooley at the other end, Nate Taylor, Tommy Thurston, Terry Hogue, Ronnie Harris, Flax Sanchez, that secondary that leads the nation in interceptions. 1st and 10 Jackets at the 32-yard line. And they give it to Fortier. He's at the 39-yard line. Stan Dooley making the stop on him. Ed Fortier is a senior from Atlanta, Georgia, played at Marist, and he's come on awfully strong this year. Butch Clifton on the sidelines. Go, Butch.
Well, Bill and Buck, I think you can get a good shot of Coach John Casey and the offensive linemen, the unsung heroes that have done such a good job to help Herschell Walker come into the game with over 1,500 yards in rushing.
We are back to 2nd down and 3 yards to go for the Jackets. LaVette, and he will be short of the 1st down, almost to the 1st, but just a little bit short to the 42-yard line. Dale Carver, Stan Dooley stopping Robert LaVette, who has scored 17 touchdowns this year. He is an all-Atlantic Coast Conference player now in his 2nd year. Jim Bob Taylor took over that quarterback position at Tech and has done a good job, 1,721 yards passing. He's looking at a 3rd down and 1 situation as they bring a man in motion, then hand it to LaVette, the tailback. He looks to me like he is squeaked over for the 1st down. Robert LaVette picks up the 1st down for the Jackets at the 43-yard line.
The only thing we can look for Tech to run right at Georgia. Their offensive line is outweighing Georgia's by at least 30, 35 pounds. Georgia's All-American Jimmy Payne is out again, not in the lineup, so look for him to be going right at Georgia, trying to pick up some yards on the ground, and they're going to be throwing the majority of the time, too.
1st and 10 Jackets at the 43. Fortier, LaVette, the backfield members, and they pitch it out to LaVette. He's across the 45 and across midfield. Pickup of 8 yards on the play by Robert LaVette. LaVette, good, tough runner in there. He's the sophomore who broke over the 1,000-yard mark in the last game. And look at the touchdowns, 17 TDs. He made it over midfield at a 2nd down and 2 at the Georgia 49-yard line. Robert LaVette is 6 feet, 190 pounds. And they give it to LAVETTE, and is tackled at the 40 and the 39-yard line. Ronnie Harris making the stop. He looked good, Buck.
LAVETTE's quite a back. He's one of those backs that can do everything for you. He can run inside, outside, and he's a great receiver. They use him quite a bit in pass situations.
First down, Georgia Tech, just inside the 40-yard line. LAVETTE, 133.5 yards per game, all-purpose running. Just picked up a big first down for the Jackets, and they're in dog territory. A handoff to the fullback, 40A, and he gets 3 yards. Tommy Thurston and Stan Dooley making the stop on him. But the Jackets are moving the football.
I'd say, Bill, Tech's moving the ball quite well right now. Georgia's always been known on defense to give up a lot of yardage, but when they get down close to the goal line, they get tough, and looks like today's going to be no exception.
Second down and 8. A look into Jim Bob Taylor calling the signals. There's some movement, but the man got back. Taylor on a quick pass out here. His man fell down, and the pass falls incomplete. It was intended for Mike Harrington. He slipped a little, number 2, Harrington, and the pass fell incomplete. All right, a big third down situation right off the bat. Third down and about 8 yards to go. Tech now at the Georgia 37-yard line. Certainly too early to call this crucial third down, but big nonetheless. Taylor. Jim Bob Taylor throws it, and it is complete at the 24, and down to the 20-yard line goes Ken WHISENHUNT. WHISENHUNT complete down to the 20-yard line. Harris making the stop, a big down, and Jim Bob came through.
Well executed play. You see the linebackers isolated on the tight end. Thurston's really has good coverage, but Harris puts the ball right in WHISENHUNT's numbers. Perfect. It's hard to defend against a perfect play.
First and 10 Jackets now at the Georgia 20-yard line. Handoff to LAVETTE. He slashes to the 15, to the 13. LAVETTE looks mighty good. Will Fort's making the stop. Jeff Sanchez came up to help out.
This Georgia Tech offense looks good. LAVETTE's running the ball, but he's getting some awfully big holes to run through.
Butch Clifton, you are right down at the action, right around the 15-yard line.
Well, I think you can see from the field, Georgia Tech, 4 of their 5 offensive linemen will get drafted high in the pro draft this year. And you can see all year long they've opened the holes and given Jim Bob Taylor excellent time to pass.
Now they give it to LAVETTE. LAVETTE at the 10 and across the 10 to the 9-yard line. May have been a fumble. Georgia players signaling that they have recovered a fumble, but I do not think that is the case. LAVETTE holds on, and they will measure to see whether or not he made the first down. Tommy Thurston, Will Forts making the stop on him. Georgia's defense allowing 132 yards per game on the ground. And they stretch that chain, and Georgia Tech has a first down at the 10-yard line. Tech has marched down the field from their own 20-yard line. This is the first possession by the Jackets this afternoon. They've eaten up some clock and now have a first and 10 at the 10-yard line. 40A and LAVETTE. And they give it to LAVETTE. He's down to the 6-yard line. Georgia stacks him up there. 4-yard gain by Robert LAVETTE.
It's been quite a drive by Tech. They've come out on the field. Looks like they're really executing well, mixing the pass and the run. Got quite a back with LAVETTE. You got to give a lot of credit to this man, Bill Curry. He's really turned the program around for Tech.
Got him 6-4 this year. Best season since 77 or 78. Jackets now second down and 8 from the Georgia 8-yard line. Got the backs in a pro set now. Jim Bob Taylor on the sprint out, looking, and it's incomplete, just overthrown, intended for LAVETTE, who is not only their leading rusher, but he's also their leading pass receiver.
A lot of pressure that time by Kevin Jackson. Made Harris get out a little farther than he wanted to, get rid of it a little sooner than he wanted to. LAVETTE wasn't even looking, I don't think, when the ball was thrown.
Butch Clifton down on the field. It is 3rd down and 8. How tough is it?
Well, that time you can see Georgia was really coming after Jim Bob Taylor. He was trying to roll to his left. Great pressure from Kevin Jackson, the youngster out of Cartersville, Georgia. Really put the pressure. It was a timing route. Did not have time to deliver the ball. Really fierce down here on the field.
All right. 3rd down. Jackets at the 8-yard line. They put LAVETTE in motion. Taylor looking. And it's intercepted by Flack at the goal line. That's Tony Flack at the 10, at the 11. Let's look at it again as Tony Flack, the freshman, intercepts in the end zone and brings it out. Buck Bellew, there's another example of that defense bending but not breaking.
Exactly. Georgia was playing man out on the receivers. Norton, the Tech receiver, looks like he tripped up a little bit and left Flack right there by himself to make the catch.
That is 3 interceptions by Tony Flack. That is 33 by the Georgia secondary, which leads the nation as we look at it from the other end zone.
You see here just a quick slant. Norton went down and Flack was right there. Excellent coverage and in perfect position.
1st and 10, Georgia at the 10-yard line. Herschell Walker. Walker across the 15 to the 16-yard line, picks up about 6 on the play. How many times have we seen this year, Buck, the Georgia defense coming up with that big play in the end zone?
They've bend but don't break. How many times have we seen it all year long? Opposing offense been able to move the ball, but when they get their backs to the wall, Georgia seems to come up with a big play.
Butch Clifton, quickly, what you got?
Well, looking over my shoulder, you've got Anthony Flack, number 8, being administered to, and defensive coordinator Bill Lewis explaining what they did right that time. It was a great play from ground level as Flack bumped the offensive player, stepped inside, made a great interception. Another big play by Georgia's defensive secondary.
Meanwhile, back on the field, they gave it to Chris McCarthy, and he picked up yardage to the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go, closer to the 19-yard line. Marvin Dyett making the stop on the play. Georgia looking at a 3rd down and 1. This drive started on the 10-yard line. Herschell Walker on the pitch out, and he's caught behind the line of scrimmage. Walker stopped by Ted Roof behind the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 3. If you're going to tackle Walker, that's where you got to do it, around the legs.
Roof made a good play. A lot of times you see opposing defenders trying to hit Herschel, knock him down, but Roof locked up his arms and tied up his legs. That's the only way to do it.
4th and a long 2 yards to go. Jim Broadway is standing on the 2-yard line, ready to punt it away. Jack Westbrook for Tech is back deep. It is on 40-yard line. This is where Broadway shines, is under pressure situations, and standing on his own, too, is certainly that. He gets this one away. Westbrook backs up to the 39, takes it there. Jack Westbrook to the 47, the 48, knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Jim Broadway. 3 minutes and 36 seconds are left in this first quarter. Westbrook just returns that punt to the 48-yard line. Georgia leading Tech 7-0. He's got 48 at the fullback position, Robert LAVETTE at the tailback position, and here's the pitch and the sweep, and LAVETTE turns on the speed and goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Jeff Sanchez knocks him out of bounds, but again, Tech on the move, and LAVETTE has picked up 6 yards on the play. Here's an interesting stat. Tech moving the ball well, 8 first downs, Georgia only 1. The Dogs touchdown coming on that long 59-yard run by Herschell Walker. Jackets eating up the real estate, though, on the ground as they are moving now, driving again, 2nd down and 4 yards to go. 48, the fullback at the 15, the fullback at the 10, the 9, the 8, the 7. First down, Georgia Tech at the Bulldogs 7-yard line.
Bill, you have to really be impressed with the Tech offense. Running the ball at the middle, sweeping wide, mixing the pass in. Game plan is perfect today.
Buck, watch him cut back.
48 is a quality player. Usually Tech, mostly he's going to be used as a blocker, which he's an outstanding blocker, but he's showing his running ability here.
Well, he's given the Jackets a 1st and goal, They mark the ball at the 8-yard line. Now 48 again to the 5. Tommy Thursson stacks him up at the 5-yard line. Jackets second down and goal from the 5. Jackets move down on their first possession. Deep like this, and then Tony Flack intercepted the pass to blunt the touchdown drive and give Georgia the football. Now it is second down and 5 yards to go. 2 seconds, 1 second. That is the end of the first quarter here at Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. The Bulldogs leading the Jackets by the score of 7-0. PA has done a lot on this Tech drive that has seen them go down to the 5-yard line. Second down and goal from that point. 80,000 on their feet. Pitch out. Robert LAVETTE looked to pass, and then he's caught at the 6-yard line. LAVETTE wanted the halfback pass, and Jim Bob Taylor was on the far side of the field.
Great.
Well, from the ground level, you could see it was a quick toss back. It was a good read by especially Carver and Dooley as they refused to be fooled by the flea flicker back to Jim Bob Taylor. At that point, when LAVETTE raised his arm to make the throw, you could see the Georgia defensive line relax, and then he was able to move the ball, and from my angle, it looked like he picked up a yard.
Actually, he lost about a yard, and it is third down and 6. 3rd and 6 for the touchdown. Jim Bob Taylor looking. Georgia chasing. Taylor in trouble, and he dropped the ball. He dropped the football, and Georgia has it 1st and 10 at the 28.
Well, Billy tried to get in a foot race with Freddie Gilbert, and that's one thing you don't want to do. Like it's carrying the ball in one hand, looked like he hit it on his thigh, and it just popped out.
Will Forts has recovered for Georgia, and the Dogs have the football at the 27-yard line, but somewhere in there, Tech is going to capitalize on one of those long drives. Watch it again.
Sprint out pass, but Georgia had excellent coverage. Nobody's open. Forts with good pressure. Taylor turns and tries to reverse his field. As you see, Freddie Gilbert and Forts just dropped the ball.
Well, Freddie Gilbert is an excellent track star as well as a football player when he was a star at Griffin. Give it to Herschell Walker, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know. The Tech defense comes up tough. Going to give him a loss on the play of 1 yard. A loss of a yard on the play. Second down and 11. Rob Horton making the stop. Early second quarter now as Georgia has just picked up a fumble and has the football at the 27-yard line. Herschell Walker exploding for 59 yards to give the Georgia touchdown early in the game. Now John Lastinger looks. He's got Wisham, and he drops it at the 35.
All right, got a good sideline shot of Will Forts. Another big play by Georgia's defensive team, being congratulated and looked at by Dr. Gerald Thomas. Once again, they have stopped another Tech drive when Tech was inside the 5.
Thanks, Butch. It is third down and 11 yards to go for Georgia here. Will Forts making the big play. Not Dale Carver, Freddie Gilbert actually chasing Jim Bob Taylor and causing that fumble a moment ago. John Lastinger keeps the football, goes across the 30 to the 32-yard line, way short of the first, and it'll force a punting situation. Glenn Spencer making the stop. Westbrook goes deep for the Jackets to receive. Jim Broadway into the football game to punt it for Georgia. Broadway's one of those 25 seniors who are playing their last game at Sanford Stadium. Boy, he's been a great one. Westbrook around the 28-yard line. Early second quarter. They're coming to block. Broadway gets it away. Westbrook fair catch at the 27-yard line. Jack Westbrook calling for the fair catch. Georgia leading 7-0 on Georgia Tech. 12:38 are left here in the second quarter. Jackets have the football, 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Look back at his own 30-yard line. And Tech sets up for the return. They send 1 or 2 men in after Broadway. Westbrook has it at the 31-yard line. Jack Westbrook, 40. Westbrook 45 and still up. Westbrook into Georgia territory and down at yard line. Oh, what a return by Westbrook. Watch this one. He gets by a couple of early tacklers and he's gone. He slips through, Buck.
Westbrook's, he's quite an athlete. He's a big play man for Tech. Took a couple all the way for touchdowns earlier in the year, and he's just a big play man for Tech. He's a strong defensive back from Atlanta, Georgia. Big play man.
He's 6 foot, 190 pounds, and he's given Georgia Tech good field position with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. The Jackets are at the Georgia 36-yard line, and there's only a touchdown difference here as the Dogs scored one early. LAVETTE squeezes to the 30. Jackets on the march again as they have all afternoon. Robert LAVETTE now 19 carries, 75 yards. And you know that the Tech fans and the Georgia fans are watching their yardage to see which one of the great tailbacks in this state wins the clash. LAVETTE now 75 yards. Herschell Walker has 73 yards. It's a foot race, if you'll pardon the pun. Here's LAVETTE, and he gives that move and then goes up and gets the first down. He dips in, Buck, and then goes back out.
He's very quick, and that's his forte, his quickness. And like I said, he's a slashing type runner. He gets a crack and he hits it. There's no waiting around for LAVETTE.
Georgia Tech's Bill Curry, when he recruited him out of Cartersville, Georgia, when he got LAVETTE, he had one. Lots of people wanted LAVETTE. Look at the first downs. Georgia Tech 13, Georgia 1. Now, I was a little premature on the first down call here. It is short by a couple of inches. Nate Taylor says it's a little more than that. It is third down and 6 or 7 inches. Starting to chant Georgia Bulldogs down on this end of the field, the horseshoe end of the field as Tech is driving into it. Third down, and you saw not very much to go for that first down. 3:21 left on the clock. First half. Jim Bob Taylor, quarterback. They're in the I formation. Taylor keeps it. He's got the first down. Jim Bob Taylor gets the first down for Georgia Tech. 14 first downs now for the Jackets. And they continue, Buck, to move down the field.
They do. Their offense has been sharp all day. They've just had mistakes. 2 fumbles and 1 interception has enabled them to not put any points on the scoreboard. That's where it all counts. Georgia's up 1 first down, but it was a big one.
All right, look at it. Jackets coming out. They've got a first down just shy of the 25-yard line. That is Stan Dooley, number 50, set, ready to go against the Jackets. And they pitch it out to LAVETTE. Markers on the play. LAVETTE cuts back in and is down at the 21-yard line. Looked like he was going to be caught for maybe no gain or a yard loss, and he was brought back. Penalty appears to be against Georgia Tech. Illegal procedure. They'll knock him back. Butch Clifton, you're down on the sidelines. Is there much talk on the Georgia bench?
Well, I'm not really in a position to hear what's going on right now. It's kind of quiet. Everybody's catching their breath. Like Buck said, it's a warm day on the field. The fans are going on the bench, and defense has been on the field a long time and need another big play, and Georgia's offense needs to take this thing over and drive out the rest of the half.
You know, you said the fans are on the field. What he means are the cooling fans that help keep the players cool on the sidelines. And remember, we're in late November, and I can remember so many years when you had to have the heaters on the field. Perfect afternoon for football. Georgia Tech 1st and 15 after that penalty. Jim Bob Taylor got a split backfield, so watch for the pass. And he looks and fires, and it's dropped at the 17-yard line, intended for Glenn Etheridge. They were in that split backfield again, Buck, and that usually means pass, and Georgia's awaiting, but the ball was laid in there to number 85.
As you see, Georgia's man-man in the secondary. Perfect pass to Etheridge. It's a shame he didn't come up with that Taylor has really looked sharp throwing the ball all day long.
2nd down and 15. Georgia Tech stopping itself more than Georgia stopping them on these drives. 2:28 left in the half. Taylor looking, and it is just out of the reach of Eddie Fortier. Jim Bob Taylor was being chased. Tommy Thurston out covering the receiver on the play. But Jim Bob Taylor was under a bit of pressure. He came in, you may remember that he started off at Southern Methodist University, was behind Mike Ford, another quarterback there. And then he transferred to Georgia Tech, was behind Mike Kelly. And now Jim Bob Taylor is the man in the Georgia Tech backfield. 3rd down and 15. Jackets in that I formation. The clock ticking. No, it is stopped after the incomplete pass. Jim Bob looking over the middle, got a man open, overthrows him at the 7. It brings up a 4th as Harrington was in the open, but the ball was overthrown.
4th down at the 31.
Jim Bob Taylor, 46 yards, 4 out of 14. And so many of those have been just out of reach.
And he's had a couple of balls dropped.
4th and 15. Ron Rice is in to attempt a field goal, though. Ron Rice set up for the field goal attempt. As I said, it would be a 37-yarder, a 47-yard attempt marked on the 37-yard line. And let's watch. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Ron Rice from 47 yards out has put Georgia Tech on the scoreboard. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left in the first half, and Georgia leading Georgia Tech 7-3. Rice kicking that 47-yarder to put Georgia Tech on the scoreboard. Rice ready to go here. Rice's kick will go to Carney Norris, 4 yards deep, and he'll bring it out. 5-yard line, 10-yard line, racked up at the 12. Carney Norris stiffed at the 12-yard line. Georgia Tech fired up now as the Jackets are only 4 points behind Georgia. The Bulldogs went into the game about a 3-touchdown favorite. And Georgia Tech winning the yardage battle, the first down battle, and Georgia with a 7-3 lead on the board. 2:07 left in the half. They give it to Herschell Walker, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Walker loses a couple of yards at the 10-yard line. Number 98 was big Bobby Hodge on the play. Watch it again, and watch for number 98. Good play by Hodge. He is 6'4", 275 pounds from Vidalia, Georgia. He came to Georgia Tech as a 300-pounder and has dropped some weight down to 278. Now Lastinger pitches to Herschell Walker. Walker trying to cut outside. Herschell Walker knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. That time, number 93, Ted Roof, led the way.
Bill, I'll tell you, it looks like Tech's playing with much more intensity than Georgia is right now. Tech has momentum, and they're really coming up gang tackling. It's the only way to tackle Herschel. Georgia has done hardly nothing on offense.
4th down and 6 for the Dogs at the 17-yard line, leading 7-3 with 55 seconds left in the half. Broadway standing around his own 1-yard line to punt it away. Westbrook is deep for Georgia Tech. He gets it away. Westbrook drifts back to the 39-yard line, takes it there, and is wrapped up at the 38.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones in there like a streak. And it'll be 1st and 10. Georgia Tech at the 39-yard line is where the football will be marked. 47 seconds left now in the first half.
Tech has enough time to get some points on the board, particularly to get in field goal range for Rice. They need a couple of first downs, a couple of big plays through the air.
47 seconds left in the half. Split backfield, look for Jim Bob Taylor. No, he pitches out to Robert LAVETTE, and LAVETTE is clear at the 45 and out of bounds at around the 47-yard line. Robert LAVETTE runs out of bounds, stops the clock, 38 seconds are left. Look at it again.
They've run this play with quite a bit of success today. Just the power sweep, 2 guards pulling, fullback leading. LAVETTE has a tight quickness. When he sees the crack, he carries it out. When he sees the crack, he hits it. And they've had a lot of success with that today.
38 seconds are left. Georgia Tech will be looking at, well, now they're marking off a penalty against Georgia. A 15-yard personal foul penalty against Georgia. And that moves the Jackets down to the 37-yard line with 38 seconds left in the game, left in the first half, I'm sorry. Seems like we've been here for a game. But Georgia Tech has the football now in good field position at the 37-yard line. Georgia's Vince Dooley has got to be unhappy with what he's seeing out on the football field. Robert LAVETTE has 88 yards. Jim Bob Taylor, the quarterback. And he hands off to LAVETTE. LAVETTE 35-30. 25-yard line goes Robert LAVETTE. And he's got another first down.
LAVETTE has just had an outstanding day today, reading holes, finding it, hitting it. Just an outstanding back. He's given us a clinic on how to rush the ball against Georgia.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line with 24 seconds left in the first half. Jim Bob Taylor. Taylor looking, and it's intercepted and then dropped by Terry Hogue. Terry Hogue had it and dropped it, making an outstanding effort. It'll bring up second down and 10. 18 seconds are left in the first half. Let's see how close he did come to it. Number 14, as he came down on the ground, the ball pops loose.
Bill, that might be the first ball Terry's dropped all year long.
Second down and 10 from the 25 of Georgia. 18 seconds are left on the clock in the first half. Tech 16 first downs to Georgia's 1. I formation, and we've got another penalty. Too much time charged against Georgia Tech. Will move the ball back to the 30-yard line. Lots of penalties in this game. Many of them against Georgia Tech. I think the major portion of them against Georgia Tech. Delay of the game. Second down and 15 yards to go. 18 seconds left in the half.
Tech has been, like we said all afternoon, moving the ball up and down the field, but when it gets in a crucial part of the field, they've stopped themselves. Interceptions, fumbles, and penalties has really hurt Tech.
Let's look. I formation. Tech's got a couple of men spread out deep to the near side of the screen. Jim Bob Taylor back looking. Jim Bob Taylor in some trouble. And now he throws it complete to LAVETTE at the 14. LAVETTE's still up and knocked out of bounds. They'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 13-yard line. That was a great individual effort. First by the passer, Jim Bob Taylor, who was pursued heavily, and then by LAVETTE. Let's watch it again.
Had 3 deep routes going. Had to come out of the pocket. He's a type quarterback that can throw on the run. Picks up his receiver, LAVETTE, who slips behind Thurston there. They're going to be short and going to go with a field goal with only 8 seconds left.
Ron Rice is in to attempt a 30-yard field goal. Let's watch it. Rice, a 30-yard attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 4 seconds left in the first half, the score now, Georgia 7, Georgia Tech 6. Look how close that is when Georgia comes in with a predicted 3-touchdown favorite. And it is 7-6 with 4 seconds left as Ron Rice, the man you see going back on the field to kick off, having kicked 2 field goals to bring Tech within 1 point of Georgia. The Dogs scored that touchdown early, and then it's been mostly Tech since then. Woo! Butch Clifton, what is the feeling on the Georgia bench now? It's close.
Well, you know, you still got a half to go, and obviously their intensity level has not been what it was against Auburn and Florida, but you know, they don't seem too concerned. I think they're a little dismayed that Tech was able to get this score here. It seemed to take a little bit of the sting out of it. But you know, you look for Georgia to bounce back at the second half like they've done so many times this year.
Herschell Walker is now in turn the kickoff. He replaces Keith Montgomery, and he'll be back there in the double safeties with Carney Norris. The top of your screen, Walker. At the bottom of your screen, Ron Rice set to kick off. So Walker is in on the kickoff return team. 4 seconds are left on the clock. And you wonder if Georgia Tech is aware, and I think they are, that Herschel is in. Rice to kick off. He squibs this one and lets it bounce away. And Carney Norris takes it at the 10-yard line. Herschel gets a block for Norris, but then he's nailed at the 24. And that is it for the first half. Georgia leading Georgia Tech by the score of 7-6. We will be back with halftime comments in just a moment. Georgia leads Georgia Tech by the score of 7-6. We have with us now former Georgia All-American quarterback, former All-Pro record setter Fran Tarkington, who played for the Dogs, also with the Minnesota Vikings. What are your impressions of the first half?
I've been very impressed with Georgia Tech. I think Bill Curry's prepared them well. They've got a good diversified offense. They are running the ball well with LAVETTE. I think their passing game is a well-conceived passing game. I think some of the pro influence that Curry has had shows in what he's doing with the passing game. They played very well the first half. I expect Georgia to wake up sometime in the second half and come back and take control of the game. At least I hope so.
Buck, what do you think? You were down there last year. The emotions have still got to be there a little bit for you.
Well, I'm sure the Georgia coaching staff is going to be trying to wake up the Georgia team in the locker room here at halftime. Obviously, they didn't come out ready to play, and Tech has. Tech is well coached. Georgia has not done a whole lot on offense.
All right, Fran, thanks for being with us. And, of course, he was a great one here at the University of Georgia, played in some great Georgia Tech games. We'll be back with the start of the second half right after this. Kevin Butler to kick off to start the second half of play. Georgia leading Georgia Tech 7-6, and he puts this one in and out of the end zone. Halftime stats go like this, and they're weighted heavily now on Georgia Tech's favor. Georgia Tech in the first down department had a tremendous number, 14-2 in first downs. Yards rushing, 125 for Tech, 113 for Georgia. Tech passed for 58 yards, Georgia only 7. There's the total yards, 183 to 120. Those balloons sent up at halftime by the Georgia Redcoat Band. Now we're back to live action. It is 1st and 10 from the 20. Jim Bob Taylor back on the first play in the second half. Intercepted and dropped by Tommy Thurston. Tommy Thurston had it in his hands and dropped it. Come out a little stiff, do you, Buck?
Sometimes you do, particularly a quarterback. Taylor's been throwing the ball well all day. Came out, they opened it up first down, which is good. On the 20, he had the guy open, but underthrew him a little and hit Thurston right in the chest. I think the Georgia players were woken up a little bit at halftime. I'm sure the Georgia coaches were not happy with what went on in the first half, and they let them know so.
They give it to Robert LAVETTE on 2nd and 10. LAVETTE gets 4 yards to the 24-yard line before Freddie Gilbert and Will Forts make the stop on him. Ron Rice kicking 2 field goals for the 6 points of Georgia Tech in that first half. Georgia getting a 59-yard touchdown run from Herschell Walker in that first half of play. 3rd down and 6 now for Georgia Tech at the Bulldog 24, and now the crowd's getting into it. A lot of noise here. 82,000 people at Sanford Stadium. Jim Bob Taylor back to pass for the Jackets over the middle, complete, and he is dropped short of the first down. Eddie Fortier out of the backfield, Tech's number 2 receiver, dropped by Terry Hogue and Will Forts. Ron Rice is in to punt it away on 4th and a long yard to go. Jimmy Herschel is back deep for the Dogs. He's standing at about the 25-yard line. After this punt, I'm going to tell you who is leading in the tailback race between LAVETTE and Walker after 1 half of play. Here's the kick by Ron Rice. Jimmy Herschel at the 17-yard line. Jimmy Herschel down at the 21-yard line. Now, in that first half, if you're keeping up with the fight between Robert LAVETTE of Georgia Tech and Herschell Walker of Georgia, LAVETTE has the lead after a half of play with 98 yards. Herschell Walker has 84 yards. That's more noise than I've heard in this stadium all season as Georgia comes up 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. John Lastinger on the keeper gets up to the 25-yard line. Lastinger gets 3 yards on the play. Ted Roof and Rob Horton making the stop. The reasons that is this game is so big is, number one, Georgia ranked 1st in the nation. You lose here and the Dogs go to the Sugar Bowl against Penn State with not much chance of being called national champions. But the biggest reason of all is this is for the state championship. Tech and Georgia for bragging rights in the state. Herschell Walker to the 32-yard line. Marvin Dyett making the stop on Herschel. Walker, by the way, back in that first half, broke into the number 3 spot on the all-time rushing list of the NCAA rushers. He is in 3rd place. He went past 2-time Heisman Trophy winner Archie Griffin of Ohio State. They're going to have to measure to make sure Walker was close to the first down. Short of the first down. Let's go to Butch Clifton on the sidelines.
Well, you can see the intensity level on the sideline is picked up, the enthusiasm from the crowd, the enthusiasm from the players on the sideline as Georgia stopped Georgia Tech to open the second half. And that's what you've got to have in a game of this magnitude, intensity and enthusiasm.
3rd down and 1 yard to go, actually about 6 inches to go for Georgia as they are in their first possession of the second half. Came into the game 3 touchdown favorites and went in at halftime on top only by a point, 7-6. 82,000 here, and a number of them in the yellow and gold, the gold and white of Georgia Tech. Well, there's some yellow and there's some gold. Georgia Tech's coach Bill Curry now on the sidelines discussing with the official. That's Barry Wilson to Curry's left, who was a captain of the Georgia football team in the early 60s, now a Tech assistant. Now the official is coming over to the other sideline to explain something to Georgia Tech coach Vince Dooley. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. We'll see Georgia's Herschell Walker on this play go 59 yards to score the only touchdown of this game. Herschell Walker breaks clear, and Buck, he's gone.
He is. He got a hold. Once he gets in the secondary one-on-one with DBs, it's going to be an easy race, I think. Herschel, that's really the only time Georgia did anything on offense.
Ron Rice kicked 2 field goals. Here's the first one. That was 47 yards, if I'm not mistaken. And then Rice kicks the second one, and it's a 31-yarder. 7-6 is the score. Now we're back to the action. Herschell Walker, 3rd on the career rushing ladder of the NCAA. 3rd down, less than a yard, and they give it to Herschel, and he may have been stopped. Walker may have been stopped short of the first down. He did not go up and over like we have seen him do so many times this year. Instead, stayed on the ground, and this will be a very important long look by the officials. They're going to call for the chains again. Calling for the chains. Spotter Kevin Allman looks down and says he did not make it. Let's see. They stretch him out. Short of the first down. Walker short of the first down. Now let's see. It's 4th and about 2 inches to go. Georgia may go for it. If Georgia goes for it and does not make it, Tech will be in great field position. The ball is on the 31-yard line. All right, look at this. 3rd down, less than a yard. Or 4th down, less than a yard. 4th down. They give it to Walker. He's got the first down to the 34.
They held him one time on 3rd down. I think Vince Dooley's thinking on the sideline was they can't hold him twice, and I don't blame him.
Let's go to Butch Clifton on the sidelines. Butch?
I'm going to tell you, I was right here by it, and you talking about a youngster that really wanted the 1st down. He was not going to be stopped. He had a second effort and really twisted his way forward. Some kind of hitting on that play.
All right, Walker gets the 1st down for Georgia at the 34-yard line on that 4th and inches. Here's the pass, and it is complete to Kevin Harris. And he's down at the 45-yard line to Kevin Harris. Harris moves Georgia into Tech territory at the 43-yard line is where they mark it.
Just a timed out route. Timed out. Tech cornerback tried to make a big play, step in front for the interception, but missed it. Kevin Harris took it on down.
And Harris takes it to the 43 now. 11 minutes, 8 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Georgia moving on Georgia Tech now. Dogs' first possession. They pitch it out to Walker. Herschell Walker looks for the corner. Now he's at the 37-yard line before Tech halts him there. He picked up about 4 yards on the play. Sammy Brown making the stop. Let's take a look at the run. Now watch him look for his holes. McCarthy a block there. Norris Brown on the outside trying to make a block, and Herschel swings through. There's a Tech player injured on the play across the field. Sammy Brown is the man who is down. And that is why the action has come to a halt here for just a moment at Sanford Stadium. Herschel picked up 4 yards on the play. He now has 97 yards in 16 carries. 97 yards, 16 carries for Walker. And while we have a moment here as they attend to Sammy Brown, we looked at Robert LAVETTE has 102 yards, the Georgia Tech tailback, in 23 carries. Brown is up. He's number 21, making his way to the bench. He's a senior from Warner Robins, Georgia. 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Dogs. Ball is at the 39-yard line. Walker. Herschell Walker. Walker across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Dante Jones making the stop on Walker. Walker 107 yards now. And he has thrown a shoe. 17 carries at 1 touchdown by Walker. Of course, the 59-yarder. Walker gets his shoe back on, and the clock is ticking. 10 minutes, 8 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Georgia driving on their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Kevin Harris in motion to the near side, and they give it to the fullback, Chris McCarthy. McCarthy down to the 25-yard line before Jack Westbrook makes the stop. It is very important, isn't it, Buck, to come out on that opening possession and drive down the field?
Well, I'm sure they made some adjustments at halftime, mostly mental. I know they've had 2 very draining games the past 2 out of 3 weekends. They had an off week last week, but this one's a big one. I think they realized a lot of things at halftime.
2nd down and 6 yards to go. Herschell Walker, 25. Walker takes a man and now out of bounds around the 24 or 23-yard line. Walker out of bounds. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation. They will mark the football at the 23-yard line. 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Georgia. Driving in Georgia Tech territory. Lastinger brings them up with McCarthy at fullback. Walker at tailback, and now they give it to Walker, and he's going to be short of the 1st down. Walker short of the 1st down on 3rd, and 3 yards to go. Ted Ruth making the stop. That'll bring up a 4th down. Walker gets a yard, 4th down, and 2 yards to go. They bring on the field goal unit. Kevin Butler's in the game. But now Georgia's got to worry about that clock and a delay of game penalty. It's ticking away, and Butler marks it down at the 29-yard line. A 39-yard field goal attempt. Butler kicking, Jim Broadway the holder. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Kevin Butler has just kicked Georgia 3 more points. And with 8 minutes and 43 seconds left third quarter, the Dogs are leading the Jackets by the score of 10-6. Georgia now with the football late in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Lastinger's gone all the way at quarterback. John Lastinger looking deep for Herman Archie, and he's got him at the 10, the 5, touchdown. 63. A 63-yard bomb from John Lastinger to Herman Archie. Lightning strikes. Look at it again, Buck.
Good play fake. Georgia has not gone deep all day long. They come out and try. Archie is turned to a big play receiver for Georgia. Beats him on the post. Nothing but a foot race. Great time to go deep.
Herman Archie, 63 yards, and Kevin Butler in to attempt the extra point, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. 4 minutes, 4 seconds are left. Georgia leading 17-6. Let's take another look at the bomb.
Again, we like to mention Georgia's been keeping things on the ground. Short passes. It's the first time they've gone deep all day long. You like to throw deep a couple times. Archie, freshman receiver from Columbus, outstanding talent. I'm sure we're going to be seeing quite a few more of those in the future.
Butch Liston's on the sidelines. Butch.
The sideline just exploded as you had the great pass from Lastinger to Archie. You can see behind, everybody's excited. The adrenaline's flowing down here. May have been the turning play in the game.
All right, Butch, thanks. It's 4 minutes and 4 seconds left. Georgia leading Georgia Tech 17-6. Kevin Butler set to kick off. Back deep is Cleve Pounds, the freshman for Georgia Tech. Butler will kick it off. Now Butler starting to clap and looking to the stands, and Sanchez yelling for some excitement from the stadium. And back on the goal line is Cleve Pounds. (17-6) Georgia leading Georgia Tech. There's Herman Archie. He is the freshman from Columbus, and he's got speed. And he just took the bomb from Lastinger. He's been a big play man for Georgia all season. Butler's kick. Pounds will take it at the 4. Cleve Pounds at the 4. Got a block, and now he's across the 20 and up to the 24-yard line. Pounds looks to be injured on the play. Pounds was tackled by David PAYNE.
That's one thing you really hate to see. Anytime you're on the field and see a player go down, you hate to see him grab his leg, because knee injury is something I managed to avoid, but so many of the players get, and when you have those scars, I tell you, it's one thing you really want to stay away from. You really hate to see somebody down on the ground.
It happened on the tackle. David PAYNE made the stop. Let's watch and see if we can see it. PAYNE is now charging down on him on the kickoff team. Ooh. Yes. Planted his foot, and it looked like the helmet hit it and maybe hyperextended.
Yeah, but I tell you, you never really realize, you know, you can get hurt until you see somebody else laying there, and it's a bad feeling.
Hopefully, and it does not look too bad as he walks off the field. Let's hope that it's okay for Cleve Pounds as Georgia Tech takes over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Jim Bob Taylor looking. Throws over the middle, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. Goes Mike Harrington. Georgia Tech comes right back and picks up 17 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hey, you had a 10-point turnaround that time. Ron Rice missing the long field goal. It was short and to the right. Come right back with the pass from Lastinger to Archie. The 10-point swing could be the deciding factor in a hard-fought game.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. The Jackets have 3 minutes and 34 seconds left. The pitch out. And Terry Hogue is right on top of Robert LAVETTE. And that will be a loss, but Buck, I'm not sure. That may be the first loss by LAVETTE today.
Georgia has not had too much penetration when LAVETTE's had the ball. He's been cutting well. That time Hogue came up, not only made a big hit, but wrapped up, and that's the key when you have a good back like LAVETTE running with the ball.
Well, you got the freedom to stop the field goal. You had a sack by Carver. You had pressure from Hogue. That time Hogue's up. He's cheating out, and he's reading the toss and coming on LAVETTE.
Second down, 15. LAVETTE now with 137 yards. Jim Bob Taylor looking, and it is incomplete over on the near sideline. Out of bounds. Etheridge thought he had the football. The referee looked to be right on top, and we will take an end zone shot of it and see if we can tell. Replays are nice. Second guess.
Taylor looking all the way to the backside out with a tight end. Perfect catch, perfect throw. I'm sure some of the Tech people are wondering about that one.
That's close. It really is. It brings up a third down and 15. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left, third quarter. Big play with Georgia on top, 17-6. Tech needs to keep the drive alive. Fumble on the play. Georgia has recovered at the 34-yard line. Kevin Jackson, number 71, found the loose football, and there he was. Oh, there it is.
But LAVETTE ran into the ball. Taylor simply dropping back on a split block. Looked like LAVETTE was stepping up to take on one of the blitzing linebackers and just bumped the ball out of his hand.
Well, it gives Georgia the football. 1st and 10 at the Tech 34-yard line. And a chance, I guess, to put it away if they would get moving here. Let's see what Georgia can do. Herschell Walker. Herschell Walker, 25, 15. Walker out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Walker out of bounds at the 2-yard line by Sammy Brown. All season long, Georgia's third quarter has been explosive. Georgia out of bounds. Walker out of bounds at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Dogs. They're now in that power I formation as they use frequently in goal line situations. Walker up but short.
All right, second half, you've got the defensive intensity from Georgia. You've got to give a lot of credit to Hogue. He's reading, he's playing it well. He is a gambler, and he's putting a lot of pressure. But you should have been on the sideline. You always talk about a sprinter with power, and that time you could see Herschell Walker as the hole open. He came in. They say he doesn't have many moves, but when he went to his right, he really turned it on and got outside.
Georgia now leading 17-6. And looking to get more, and they give it to Walker, and he burrows in. Touchdown. Herschell Walker stayed on the ground and goes in the yard for the touchdown. His second touchdown of the day. Walker burrowing through. That gives him 145 yards for the afternoon on 22 carries. Georgia up 23-6 now. Very late third quarter. Kevin Butler in to attempt the extra point. This game was close 2 minutes ago.
Really was. 2-3 big plays have turned it all Georgia's way.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:52 left on the clock, and Georgia leads Georgia Tech by the score of 24-6.
Tech has been able to move the ball, but Georgia's come up with the big plays where Tech, when they've needed the big plays, have had the turnovers and the mistakes, and that's been the difference.
Here's Butler's kickoff. Cleve Pounds takes it at the 3. Pounds at the 15 and out to the 25-yard line. The 22-yard kickoff return by Cleve Pounds. David Paynter again making the stop on Pounds. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the 25-yard line. Look at the turnovers. Tech 4, Georgia 1. Here comes Tech, trailing 24-6. Jim Bob Taylor gone all the way at quarterback. Stu Rogers is the man that would back him up. They give it to LAVETTE, and he explodes for 8 yards. Kenny Sims making the stop as the Dogs getting a couple more people in that defensive unit. LAVETTE has now gone over the 2,000-yard mark for his career. Listen to this. In rushing today, LAVETTE has 145 yards, and Walker has 145 yards. LAVETTE's had his hands on the ball more. And they give it to the fullback. He's got the first down. Fortier, stopped by Nate Taylor. Eddie Fortier's got the first down for Georgia Tech.
Well, Bill, I think Tech really has to have some big plays here to get back in the game quick. They've been moving the ball, but that's not what counts. You got to get the ball in the end zone. They've got to cut out some penalties, have a big play, maybe through the air. LAVETTE's got to give them something big for them to get back in it.
All right, 56 seconds, 55 seconds. Georgia Tech 1st and 10. Jim Bob Taylor straight back. Taylor is going to be brought down at the 42-yard line. And the clock ticks away. Third quarter is 39 seconds and 38 and 37. Jake Richardson and Nate Taylor making the stop. Plenty of time left, Buck.
But we got the whole fourth quarter. If it goes like it has been in the past, Georgia's outscored its opponents in the fourth quarter, 103-19.
Now it is 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Georgia Tech sends a man in motion. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And it is almost intercepted by Sanchez and then bounced into Terry Hoag's hands. I must admit that I saw it bounce off. That is Terry Hoag's 11th interception. Sanchez came up, made the hit. Let's watch it.
Screen pass all the way. You got to give credit there to Sanchez. He came up, made the big play, tipped the ball up right to Hoag. Terry's always in the right spot.
That is the end of the third quarter. As you see, Terry Hoag intercepting his 11th. And Georgia leading 24-6. Terry Hoag and Sanchez. Butch?
You got a great shot of Terry Hoag, the weary warrior. He's worn out, was not expected to play. He's been battling injuries all week, has not practiced all week. Sanchez anticipated, knocked it in the air. Where did Hoag come from? I was on the sideline, I don't know. But what a big play by the All-American.
All right, Butch, thanks. Sideline coverage today by Butch Clifton. And with 15 minutes left in the game, Georgia's got a 1st and 10 after the Hoag interception at the 41-yard line. Herschell Walker still in at tailback, and they give it to Chris McCarthy, the fullback, and he's down to the 36-yard line. Tron Jackson's in the football game, but as a flanker. Georgia Tech's Bill Curry, Barry Wilson in the gold jacket. Curry in the black, wondering what he has to do now. His team's played well. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Here's a reverse to Tron Jackson. Jackson may go. Tron Jackson touchdown. The electron bomb.
The bomb has just exploded.
Tron Jackson has just gone all the way for the touchdown. He ran that play against Clemson just about from the same position, except that one was called back. But this time there are no flags. Look at the block right there. And Jackson turns it on, the electron bomb. Tron Jackson goes in for the score.
Anytime he's in the game, you expect something to happen, and he provides us with a lot of excitement. That's why they call him the electron bomb.
36 yards he went for the touchdown. Kevin Butler kicks it through, and now early in the quarter, it is Georgia 31, Georgia Tech 6. Let's go to Butch Clifton on the sidelines.
And what a beautiful play it was. It was the reverse play that was used so successfully. Same end of the field as against Clemson. Electron Jackson showing his great speed. He's a happy youngster behind, as you can see him, number 25.
All right. Georgia leading now 31-6 with 14:23 left. Cleve Pounds, number 32, back deep to receive the kickoff. Kevin Butler will kick it away for the Dogs. Buck, what a turnaround.
Really has. Since the second half, it's been all Georgia. Something was said during halftime. I think Georgia realized what was all at stake. Tech was playing well. They still are, but they've given up some big plays. Georgia has that big play potential, though, Bill.
Well, this is a year's worth of highlight film right here. Kevin Butler kicks it away. Oh, he put the foot into this one. Pounds backs up 8 yards deep, and there he will stay.
Catches the ball in the end zone.
The scoring drive, if you can call it that, 2 plays, 41 yards, a 36-yard TD run. Butch Clifton on the sidelines.
Once again, we're on the sideline, and when Kevin Butler kicks off, as he's done several times today, the ball from my angle physically goes over the top of the rim of the stadium. Of course, I know it's the angle, but it's amazing to see how high he kicks the ball and how deep.
1st and 10 for the Jackets now, and they're going to have to come out passing that football now, 31-6. But they give it to Robert LAVETTE, and he turns on the speed and is up to the 28-yard line. Tim Crowe making the stop on Robert LAVETTE. Now, you really got to love it right here. Look at this. If you do that to yourself, you got to be a Bulldog fan supreme. I believe he is. Thank you, sir. Your wife will see you when you get home. 13:50. 2nd and 2, Buck. Here we go. Jim Bob Taylor back, and he's got a man deep. Now he throws across the middle. Complete it is to Glenn Etheridge, and he's down with a first down at the 45-yard line. Etheridge takes the pass and is down at the 45-yard line. Some words between the Tech and Georgia players. A little frustration, I would say. Will Forts out in on the stop that time. It is 1st and 10 for the Jackets at their own 45.
Hey, McIntyre.
Tech in the I formation. Got a man in motion now, and they give it to Robert LAVETTE, and they string him out, and now he's across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines and Butch Clifton.
Got a happy Guy McIntyre working in that offensive line. What a great job they've done today. Coach Gibbs, Coach Casey had the youngsters prepared. Second half, they came out with a lot of intensity and open holes all day for Herschell Walker, and they really did a good job blocking to spring Tron Jackson on the 36-yard run.
2nd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets now in Georgia territory at the 48. LAVETTE has 159 yards for the day. Here's the pass over the middle, and it is complete this time to Keith Glanton. First down, and the Georgia defense gives up more yardage. This to the 40-yard line as Glanton makes the grab. He's a sophomore from Villa Rica, Georgia. 1st and 10 Jackets in Georgia territory at the 41. Jim Bob Taylor bringing them down the field with 12 minutes and 20 seconds left. Now he fakes in, and Taylor looks, and it's intercepted by Terry Hogue. Terry Hogue has just intercepted his 12th pass of the season. He has now intercepted 12, which is as many as Clarence Kay has received as a receiver.
And he's the leading receiver for Georgia. HOAGE is amazing. He wasn't even supposed to play today. He hadn't practiced all week. He comes in. He just gets the job done. It's really amazing. He deserves every bit of the credit and accolades he's getting, All-American, and he deserves to be.
12 receptions. Georgia 1st and 10 now at the 23-yard line after the HOAGE interception, and Herschell Walker goes across the 25-yard line.
25, flag on the play.
Marker on the play as Walker got a few yards and was hit tough by the Tech defense, which has been on the field a lot here in the second half. With the 2 interceptions now, Terry HOAGE ties the SEC record. Georgia called for holding. Georgia now, Terry HOAGE now tied for the Southeastern Conference record of 12 interceptions in a season. Second down and 8 yards to go for the Dogs now. Buck, Lastinger's going back to pass and looking, and it is intercepted. Tech's man intercepts it and fumbles the football. Let's see if it's still a live football. They may call him out of bounds. Steve Mooney. Pass is intercepted by Mooney, and Georgia Tech does have possession of the football at the 26-yard line. Interception by Mooney has the football at the 26-yard line. Stu Rogers into the football game at quarterback, hands off to Robert LAVETTE, and he squeezes through for 9 more yards. LAVETTE is amazing. That is 169 yards.
Gain of 8 yards.
Well, now they say 8 yards, so 168 yards by LAVETTE. It's a second down and 2 yards to go. Impressive young man is Mr. LAVETTE, number 20. .32 carries for Robert. Second down, 2 yards to go. They give it to LAVETTE, and he's open and still up and down now at the 7-yard line. Carlisle Hewitt making the stop on Robert LAVETTE. And he's driven it deep into Georgia territory now, down to the 7-yard line.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. LAVETTE is a quality back, having the best day against.
And another good angle from the sideline. Good job by the cameraman. We could see the hole open. Good offensive block, and LAVETTE once again squirming through in great balance as he drove to the 7.
First and goal at the 7. Tech's been here before, only to have a turnover hurt him. Now they give it to LAVETTE, and he gets a yard to the 6 before Freddie Gilbert makes the stop.
To the 6-yard line.
31-6, just over 10 minutes are left in this football game. Georgia Tech will have a second down and 6 at the 6.
Second down. Go on.
Robert LAVETTE at tailback looks a little tired to me, but then he should be. He's carried the football an awful lot and very well. They give it to him. He doesn't look tired there. Touchdown. Robert LAVETTE finds the seam and goes through for the touchdown. Great effort, Buck.
LAVETTE, just a super ball player. He amazes you with the way he cuts and just runs to daylight. He's a slashing type runner, as you'll see here. Sees an opening. He sets up a lot of his tacklers with a move, gives them something, and just heads for the daylight.
Another look from the end zone. Look at this. He turns his body just at the right time to slip through. Now Georgia Tech will go for the 2-point conversion. It is 31-12 right now. He must be tired, but we saw what he did a moment ago, just as we said he was a little bit tired. Now they fake it into LAVETTE in the middle. Rogers looking and complete in the end zone, and the 2-point conversion fails. WHISENHUNT incomplete. Now with 9 minutes and 49 seconds left in this football game. The score is Georgia 31, Georgia Tech 12. And 5 yards to go. Rogers looking over here. He's got his man, and he's loose. Daryl Norton, number 1. He may go. Norton brought down from behind by Darrell Jones at the 22-yard line. Darrell Norton almost broke that one open. Nice looking play, Buck.
Hey, he's a big play person. They've always got a type player that can bust one all the way, an exciting type player. Turns a short little slant into a big play for Tech. Came with it a step of breaking it all the way. Darrell Jones makes a good play running him down for Georgia.
Jones, number 17, showed his speed as he caught up with Norton and brought him down at the 22-yard line. There's a timeout on the field as we take another look at this play that has put Georgia Tech down on the 22-yard line. One man missed him there, Ronnie Harris. But then Harris stayed after him. Look at him cut.
Great open field runner. You'd really like to see a man of this stature get in the open field and watch him run.
And Norton finally hauled down, or he might have gone all the way. Jackets will have the football, 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. 4 minutes, 49 seconds. Georgia hoping to hold on and complete another unbeaten season like they had back in 1980. Dogs ranked number 1 in the country, going to the Sugar Bowl to play Penn State. Georgia leading Georgia Tech 31-12, fourth quarter, but the Jackets have the football now on the Georgia 22-yard line. Jackets looking to put some more points up on the board. They hand off to Fortier, the fullback, and he cracks across the 20 down to the 18-yard line. Harris and Thurston making the stop on Fortier, who's run tough at that fullback position. It will be 2nd down and 6 yards to go after Fortier went for 4 yards.
Well, I think Tech's just trying to make it respectable, get some points on the board. They've played well all day. They've been quite unfortunate by the fact when they've gotten down close, they've had some big mistakes. It's not allowed them to put as many points on the board as otherwise they might have.
Here's Rogers, and he's got his man LAVETTE at the 10. LAVETTE down to the 5, down to the 4-yard line goes Robert LAVETTE. He is the leading receiver on the Georgia Tech team, and he took this one from the left-hander, Stu Rogers.
As we said, Bill, he can do it all, run in, inside, outside, and he's a great receiver. He's the type guy that smells the end zone, and most of the time he's going to get there.
All right, LAVETTE's taking them down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal for Georgia Tech with 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Georgia fans on that end of the field in the horseshoe starting to stand up. And they give it to LAVETTE, and he squeaks down to the 1-yard line. Let's go down to Butch Clifton on the sideline. Butch, what's the feeling like down there?
Well, everybody's happy at this time. Of course, they're in hopes that the defense will bow their necks and, you know, bend their back here and stop Tech on the 1-yard line. But LAVETTE's just a great runner. You can see the holes open, and when they're not there, he hits in. You never get a good grasp on him, slides out, and then that speed gets him open. He's a great back.
2nd down and 1. They give it to Fortier, the fullback, and let's see. Did he score or did he not? Georgia may have recovered the football. There's a discussion. Jeff Sanchez up from the bottom of the pile. Let's see. No gain on the play.
Looks like they're going to mark it just a couple inches away.
3rd down, and you see how close that football is. An inch, maybe. Rogers barking out the signals. Now he gives it to LAVETTE. He sprints in for the touchdown. Robert LAVETTE goes in from the 1 for the touchdown. Here's another shot, Buck.
Stack it up in the middle. He's got the quickness just to get outside. Walks in the end zone. LAVETTE's had an outstanding day. The Tech offense has really had an outstanding day, with minus the turnovers and penalties when they've gotten down in scoring position.
Rogers sends a man in motion, pitches it out to Robert LAVETTE. LAVETTE is going to be short and fumbled out of bounds. Robert LAVETTE fumbles out of bounds. The two-point conversion is no good as we watch it from the end zone. Tommy THURSON made the hit on Mr. LAVETTE. THURSON's number 60, bottom of your screen.
It's been their bread and butter all day long, the sweep. Georgia's pursuit just catches up. See THURSON Flack all the way from the other side of the field coming up. Great pursuit on Georgia's behalf.
So with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in this football game, Georgia leads Georgia Tech by the score of 31-18. Yard line. Second down and 6. Let's see what Georgia comes up with. And they hand it to Carney Norris, and he's across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. 54 seconds, 53 seconds. Tech has no more timeouts left. Georgia, the clock run down, and on the 14-yard line as they mark it back a little bit. Carney Norris out of the football game. Maybe could have been a starter anywhere else in the Southeastern Conference. The electron bomb, Tron Jackson, is in the football game. And they pitch it out to Jackson. Jackson is up. Jackson is going to score. Tron Jackson. Tron Jackson. Look at number 25. His second touchdown of the day. Oh, he showed some speed.
Oh, he's an exciting ball player. Georgia uses him 3 or 4 different positions, and he's a big play man at every one of them.
17 seconds left, and Kevin Butler sticks it up. Good. And Georgia now with a 20-point lead on Georgia Tech with 17 seconds to go. It's the Bulldogs 38, Georgia Tech 18. He has carried the football 16 times this season and has scored 4 touchdowns. Butler kicks it, and Cleve Pounds is going to let it bounce out of the end zone. Georgia Tech will have the football 1st and 10 at their own 20 with 17 seconds left. There have been more long plays in this football game than any I can remember in a couple of years.
Well, this has definitely been a spectator's game. A lot of big plays, a lot of offense, a lot of happenings. These Georgia people fouling out have seen a big second half for the Georgia Bulldogs.
And a lot of young people doing well for Georgia.
Exactly. They're going to have a big future for them.
Now Georgia Tech with 17 seconds left and 80 yards to go. Stu Rogers is the quarterback. He swings it out here complete. That's number 28, Blanton, Keith Blanton of Georgia Tech. 8 seconds left. No timeouts left for Georgia Tech. 5-4. Georgia has just finished another unbeaten season. 11-0 as Georgia beats Georgia Tech by the score of 38-18. We will be back with a wrap-up right after this.